Hello everyone, welcome back to Gaming with Shoggoths, and I suppose I should welcome myself back as well, because it has been a minute since I've posted a video. Sorry about that. If you've been keeping up with like some of my posts I've made, things have not been that great family-wise, so, I'm starting to feel better about everything that's been going on, and, the creativity is starting to come back. So I appreciate all of you who have been patient with me, waiting for more videos to come out. And also, hello to all the people who have subscribed recently. Considering the size of my channel, the number of people who have subscribed in the last month or so without me posting any new content is actually kind of really cool. I'm surprised by it, so thank you. I appreciate that. We got lots of stuff coming up for both Jurassic World and Prehistoric Kingdom, some updates and stuff. So hopefully I can have some more content coming and keep the creativity going. This enclosure, it was voted on by my viewers. As you can see, the Parasaurolophus / Tyrannosaurus won quite handily in this poll. And I did I did do this poll quite a while ago, but just the way things worked out, I didn't get to do it until now because early access was coming out, so I kind of paused all that stuff so we could wait for that. But yeah, so that's the enclosure we're gonna do, and since you guys voted on it, we're making a big kind of complex enclosure. The idea here was to have one side is going to be like a wetland area, and one side is going to be like a tropical area, because those are kind of like the two environments that all of these different species of paras that are available in the game, those are like the two middle ground ones, is the wetland and the tropical. Like those are the ones that they both are fine in and coexist in and enjoy. So so I decided to have like one side is going to be wetland, and that's kind of like the bigger area, and then there's going to be a smaller tropical area, and then they can move in between the two areas as they wish. Right now, kind of all that was just me basically making an outline for the enclosure. A lot of it changes as I try to even things out and anything like that, but I just wanted to get like a basic idea of where the enclosure was going to be, like an outline. And then this is going to be like our main building. I'm just building it off to the side because it's easier, I feel like, if you just do it on flat land. We're just going to make kind of like a domey, tropical looking building here with some windows. Now, I made this and then, and I don't know, like, to me, this is the easier way to do this, but like, I made this and then once I had it in the area where it was actually going to be, like, I deleted a lot of the walls for like openings, and I kind of deleted some of the bars that were overlapping too much. And I just feel like it's easier to do that after you've put your dome together and you can see it. You've got the whole dome there and you're looking at it and you can be like, okay, well now, I don't like the way the bars are overlapping here. You could just delete them because it's hard to predict that, it's hard to know what it's going to look like beforehand. So you don't want to try and build it to look right. You can always delete stuff later, Plus, making a dome is actually pretty easy. Like, it's pretty straightforward. So they're not some of the other buildings, like square buildings that I make, I have more. It takes longer for me to make some of them than a dome. So there's, I feel like, it's really easy. Like if you just don't like it, you can just start over. I don't know what happened there. I think my hand just totally, like, the mouse went crazy or something, and now I just hit my mic, gesturing emphatically. But like on this, I think one thing I always have problems with in this game is like I make things too tall, and I feel like this dome came out too tall, but I'm just gonna flatten it a little bit later. And that I think that's my biggest problem I have with like making domes or really anything in this game, is that I just make it too tall. But I like how this turned out, except for the top mesh windows. Like all those bars were just too, like, it just felt like there was too much going on. So I do end up deleting that, so it's just the mesh up there. Well, it's the mesh in like the bars, you'll see it in a minute, but I took out like the paneling and stuff, and I think it just ended up looking better that way. And as you can see, I'm just taking out a bunch of stuff here. The game seems to have a problem with duplicating things like just randomly. I don't know if I've seen some other people have that problem too, and I don't know, I'm not sure what it is, but I definitely had that problem with that, this dome a little bit. But yeah, so now we're gonna make like this whole area right here is going to be like a kind of like a wetlands, like a bayou kind of thing. So it's gonna be all like flooded, and then the walkways are gonna go over the water. And I'm mentioning that now because there's a part where all of a sudden there's water, and it's because I took like a break. I took a break and paused my paused the recording, and then I came back and I was really excited to get back to it, and I forgot to unpause it. So there's gonna be a point where like it jumps and all of a sudden there's water, and so that's why. But this is basically, the main walk, gonna be the main walking area. And I look, it may look like I planned this little spot here that I'm working on right now, but I really didn't. Like, I sat here and I was like, how do I make these connect without the graphics looking weird? Because sometimes when like the floor pieces overlap, they freak out and they glitch out and stuff. And I was like, so how am I gonna do this without having that kind of stuff happening? And then I ended up making what's gonna be like a little viewing gallery right here, but this was not planned. Like it may look like I thought it out, but I realized I really didn't. I can't take credit for it at all. This is all on the cuff. Kind of like this walkway area and the dome, that was planned. That had a general idea for it, but this part I did not. So, but we're just basically gonna throw together a viewing area here. Its stairs are still kind of my nemesis in this game. I'm not even sure. I think it was just because this is what it was on, but I don't know why I chose that panel to begin with, because, I mean, you need to be able to see through this. But one thing I did want to mention, because someone asked me this before, why I use the glass walls instead of like the individual glass panels, and my number one answer for that is that because I'm lazy. They're not lazy, but the wall panels automatically stand and they align with everything, but those individual little glass panels that you can use to like fill in the window panes and stuff like that, they start off flat to the ground, so you just have to align them properly, unless you're using the surface magnet thing, so I just find it easier to do it with the glass wall, and then you can just cover up those little metal posts with whatever you want to cover it up with. Plus it gives you a nice even, like spacing and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I could sit there and fumble around with the glass panels and make a wall panel, but I mean, it already exists, so why not just use it? I mean, I kind of joke when I say it's laziness, but it just makes it easier. It's faster and a little less tedious. Honestly, in my opinion, it's a lot less tedious than using the wall panel or the window panel, and I basically just use those glass panels to fill in like window panes and stuff like that. But they act a lot like the doors do, where you have to magnetize them to the wall in order for them to work, and then you still have to mess with them. So the wall pieces just automatically align themselves if you have everything clicked. So it's just easier that way. And then, as you can see, I just cover up all the little, the frame with whatever looks more thematically appropriate. And there you go. Para is just like standing there like, what's going on? And I have to say, for winging it on this, like, I really like how this turned out. I wanted to like save it and use it in other spots, but like I was having trouble copying like the bits and pieces of it, so I have to do that later. But Like, I like how it turned out. Like, it's a nice little corner viewing gallery. And you know, okay, this is the part I was talking about earlier where I just kind of like skipped because I was just like, yay, back to building. And I added water and added all these little pylons to like the walking area. So you'll see those in a second, how they're already there. And that's because I forgot to unpause my recording. But basically, I'm just adding pylons everywhere and poles and railing and stuff, so our guests don't just walk into our little ponds here. And this will make it look kind of more like it's being held up on like pylons and stuff over the water. I really wanted this to have kind of like a bayou kind of feel to it. I guess that's perhaps the best way to think about it. Like, here in the U.S. in the South, like Louisiana and stuff like that. Like, I was playing Resident Evil 7 not too long ago, so I totally have that feel in my head. Of course, I didn't want it to have that horror feel, but just that, the raised platforms over the water and all that kind of stuff that you see kind of later on in the game. But so we're just gonna add some chairs and decorations in here. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I absolutely love these little vending machines. It's something I've been wanting so badly, like in Jurassic World as well. Either a vending machine or a little cart, like a street vendor cart, something like that. A little kiosk that you could just add without having to add like a whole restaurant every time you want to do something. And I do like the fact that in this we also have those, we can make small shops out of the either the food or the clothing stands, which I will do later on in this video for our dome. But I just like the option of having something that's not a huge restaurant, whether it be a vending machine or like a little kiosk you can walk up to. So I really love, like, when we got access to early access, like I was looking through all the new stuff, and I literally exclaimed out loud when I saw the vending machine. I was just like, yay! So, yeah, just adding more pylons and railings and we gotta keep our guests safe. And I'm really like, now that I'm just kind of staring at it, watching it at fast speed, I really love watching. The water looks so good, even at high speed. I'm not even sure why I had it off of pause. Been playing in pause a lot more lately. At least in Prehistoric Kingdom. I don't really play in pause in Jurassic World, but I don't know why. Like, I don't know why. Either way, quite frankly, I don't know what influenced my habits or made me decide to change, but I did. So now we're just gonna, get all of kind of like, these are all like the wetland plants and stuff, your foxtails and cattails or whatever. Foxtails, cattails? Cattails, yeah. All those kind of water-loving plants. We're gonna get some cypress in here. One of these days I want to make like a cypress hill or something. I thought about doing that, but I was like, I don't think that anyone is gonna get the joke unless I point it out. But Cypress Hill, the band, or I should say the rap group. I'm not sure if the band is the right way to say that, but yeah, so we're just decorating lily pads and such, kind of making it look like a swampy area that you're walking through. One of the things I didn't, which I kind of slack on in pretty much this entire park right now, is lighting. But once I get some lighting in here, I bet you it will kind of look kind of cool and eerie at night walking through the little swamplands area. We're gonna finish up the dome here. I wanted it, to have like an area where you could very easily see out. So we're gonna put mesh here because that wall is obviously way too tall. So we're gonna get some decorations in here as well. More vending machines. Yay! I tried to keep it not like too full in here, like especially with the tree in the middle. Like I didn't want it to be too crowded, but this is wide enough that we have space. So I made like a little kiosk. It's gonna be a coffee shop. I'm pretty sure that's what I changed it to, as a coffee shop, but just like a little kiosk for grab a drink while you're here, or perhaps a donut or something. I don't know what they sell at this coffee shop. But you know, we're just keeping with the theme. And although now that I realize it, oh no, that is the right. Okay, for a second I thought I had bamboo over there, and I was like, wait a minute, that's not the right wall. But it's good. We're good. It's good. Yeah, there we go. It's a coffee shop, and we'll just attach it to the wall here. That was the wrong spot. I was trying to have it in the middle, and just so we have like a little cafe on one side. You can get a drink if you'd like. Sit down, enjoy the sounds of the paras, because they do make a lot of noise. Especially, there's quite a few of them in here because it's such a big enclosure. I put a lot of them in there so they would, you know, so they'd always be walking around. But they are quite loud and boisterous, which is great. They sound really good. I really like the paras in this game. Like, I think they're quite beautiful. I love how chonky they are, but they're also like, they look really nice and they sound great too. So, really enjoying them. They've got new animations, as of, early access. So now they actually like, you know, get up on their hind legs and like call out and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. Looking forward to all that. And I think they walk around and like shake and like kind of cough, or you know, kind of sneeze, that kind of stuff. So that's pretty cool. This is the part where I realize that I can't spell anything. I mean, Parasaurolophus is all right. I got that down, but all of like the species subnames and all that kind of stuff, like I had it written down, but I had to keep looking and looking and looking, because I could not spell anything. We're gonna make some signage here now. You will see in the walkthrough that I kind of just spruced these up a little bit, like right here in this part of the video. I'm just putting up the names, but I did kind of add like these little decorative glass panel things to just kind of break it up and have some color behind them. So you'll see that in the walkthrough. Finally getting our waterfall taken care of. Honestly, this waterfall needs improvement. I was just kind of trying to get it taken care of. But that area might change a little bit depending on where other enclosures go. So it wasn't like my main priority. I just wanted it to kind of look like a waterfall. And I'll make it look a little bit better. It just needs like some rocks that the water is maybe like falling onto, and some plants. And now we're just basically making our wetland area, getting our cypress plants down, or cypress trees, but yeah, like I was trying really hard to make it look like, you know, there are definitely areas where like the paras like walk, you know, so those would be like muddy areas where there's less like foliage and everything, because you know they're always like walking up that, like they've made their walking paths. What are they called? Desire paths. It's kind of, desire paths are kind of a human thing where we cut through, like shortcut through things, and people do it over and over again, and it makes a path. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you should look up desire paths. Once you see what it is, you'll understand. Like, you'll be like, oh yeah, I know, I do that all the time. Or there's one of those at school, or university, or my work, or whatever. Like, but that's kind of what I was trying to do with the enclosures. Kind of have like the desire paths, where the animals always walk, and so that area would be more worn out than other areas. So now we're working on the tropical side. I really love this prefab. Like, I think it's a really nice little prefab. So I'm definitely gonna use it. Just for this side, I'm basically just kind of making a viewing area, and then we're gonna fill in the tropical plants and all that stuff, and that's all that really needs to be done. And then they can walk freely between either side, the tropical side or the wetland side, just by walking under the bridge. What I am going to do, like you can see to the left, there's a path there. On the side of the path, I'm going to do some of those tall viewing towers. But that's going to be in a different episode, because this one was getting long, and I hadn't quite, at the time, I hadn't quite had my idea in my head. Now, like, it's actually, as I'm recording this voiceover, that part is actually done, so that'll be in a new video soon. And that area over there by the Smilodon that I keep not decorating and putting things in there will also be done in that video. So this area is pretty much it's pretty much complete, like this main entrance area. And there we go. This is the view from that tropical little viewing area. There's Smilodons on the other side. And I kind of have like the game sounds turned down a little bit right now, but if you listen, you can hear those paras like talking a lot, and also walking around in the water. This is the tropical side, our little pool right here, where the paras are going to enjoy. There we go. Enjoy their little tropical pool. Honestly, I think this is one of my favorite, like, not interactions, but like actions in the game, is just the way that the animals lie around. I love the way the Styracosaurus sits. I think it looks great. Or any of the ceratopsians, honestly. But yeah, the paras sitting in the water is really cool. I like how they look. Our waterfall area, like I said, that area, it might get a little bit of change going on depending on what happens. I did kind of put just a blanket of trees back there, so that way you weren't staring at like what is the edge of the map. It's very obvious. There's like a line, so I wanted to kind of just have it look like you're in the middle of a foresty area. This is our wetland side. And of course, because I'm trying to show the area off. Oop, that pole is a little out of whack. Because I'm trying to show off the area, there are no paras here, of course. They seem to like to walk to wherever I'm not. But this is our little wetland bio swamp kind of area going on. I love these cattails and all these other like water plants. They look really cool. Yeah, can you hear the paras? They're gone. We've got our finished dome, our viewing area. I always like to think that those binoculars will allow you to see through the, like, when I can, I put them up so that they stick through the mesh. So you're kind of like getting a view through the mesh. This is what it would look like. So there are 3 species in here. There's the 2 Parasaurolophus, and then the one Chronosaurus. I don't know why I had my brain just totally like lost me on that one. This is what I was talking about with just adding some little like circle bits behind it. Those are the glass panes, and I've just made them really thin and then overlapped them, made them different colors, and stuck them up on the board. I'm really hoping we get more of that kind of stuff in the future. I know we're getting some more decorations in the next small update. We're getting topiaries, and I'm very excited about topiaries. Finally, there are a ton of paras in here, and I don't understand why I can never find any of them when I need to. But just walking through, I like how they look walking through the water, and all the plants, the cattails, and that's, even though they're far apart, like this is a really good like illustration of the size difference between the Kronosaurus, which is in the back, the blue one, and the kind of the standard para, which is in the front, the brown one. There, the Kronosaurus is quite big, quite big. For what I understand, one of the biggest of the hadrosaurs. This is another, the blue one back there, that's the female Kronosaurus, and that one up front, I think that's a male para. So, you know, they are very similar to each other, but I think their biggest difference is their size. And then this is our little short crested variant. I like the striping on the tail. Looks really nice. Some more of them just hanging out. And these guys are pretty small in comparison to the other two. Those are some more of the paras right there. Oh, one of the other updates, just that planter I saw. One of the things coming in the next update is we'll have different planter like looks. So there'll be different skins for the planters. And then we're getting insects and fish too, so that'll be cool. I meant to change that bathroom around so it looked more tropical, blended in more, and I forgot, but I will change it. But yeah, so this is our swampy area again from the other side, and yeah, that is pretty much gonna do it for this episode. I had a lot of fun building this one. I really kind of like how this area turned out, so I'm pretty pleased with it. As always, I really appreciate you checking out my video, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like and subscribe if you're new around here. I'd love to see you back here again, and I will be back with more Prehistoric Kingdom real soon. Until then, have a good one.